My friends, how you all doing? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a fresh episode of Projecto Black CEO. And we're going to get started with a brand new season today, my friends. Lots happened in the summer. I'm going to talk about it in today's episode, but last episode, in case you missed it, is linked above for you right now, my friends. We basically got into the championship phase. We played out the whole thing, well, pretty much the whole thing, over the course of an episode, so make sure you go check it out, my friends. But yeah, today is a brand new season, as I'm messing around with the microphone. And yes, it's season 4, believe it or not, already, of Projecto Black Sea, and we've spent all of these seasons with Litex, and we're about to spend one more season with them. It's been a very, very tough transfer window. I've played the first few games of the season once again as I was trying to push through some transfers, but yeah, let's talk about it all, my friends, as we get started with season 4. Okay, my friends, so we're going to start with the transfers, as we always do at the beginning of a brand new season, and as you can see, plenty of bodies have left the football club, whether it be on a full-time thing or a loan. We've managed to get some bodies out, but very, very few have come into the football club, and it is a concern. The window's still open, and I am still trying to work on some deals and trying to get some players across the line. But the big problem we've had this summer is that every player I went in for, other teams managed to snap them up before I did. It's been a problem. A lot of the problem is that we still can't offer the wages that some other clubs do. Most we can offer is £900 a week. A lot of the players I've been linked with and been trying to bring into the football club have been wanting, you know, in excess of maybe £1,000 to £2,000 a week, which obviously in football terms is still not a lot of money, but for us it is astronomical. We just can't compete, unfortunately. Missed out on some really, really good looking players. It's been very, very frustrating. But anyway, let's talk about the outs. First and foremost, Stefan Rusev, as we all know, is a very, very good youngster. I want him to go out on loan and try and get some first team experience. He was out on loan last season and he had a pretty good year of it, does have to be said. I thought he was pretty decent, so he's gone out on loan. Kakamakov, he's gone out on loan as well. That's a lot easier to say, a lot harder to say than it looks. But yeah, he's gone out on loan as well. He is a right back who's developing quite nicely. His technicals are still a little behind where I'd want him to be, but the rest of him looking very, very good. And Nachev, who was a hero in one of the games last season, has gone out on loan this year because I don't want to stifle his development, and at 19 he's kind of at that stage where we really want him to push on. So that's 3 players that have gone out on transfer. Emil Bonev has left us on a free transfer. We didn't choose to extend his contract, to be fair. He isn't really going to develop into the sort of player we want. And then this is where it gets interesting, because we've made a bit of money this summer, and as you can see with one of the players, we made a hell of a lot of money on him. First and foremost, Mladenov, who was one of our youth goalkeepers, we sold him for 10k. He wasn't interested in signing a new deal, so I don't know why, but he just wasn't. So I decided to cash in, as he only had a year left in his contract. Tony Rusev, who was part of the first team last year, he was young, obviously didn't play a lot of football, and this club come in with a pretty good offer for him, so I decided to accept it after he got the when I rejected the first initial bid. But yeah, 14.5k, it's all right money, I guess, for a youngster that wasn't really going to develop. Then Stoyan Ivanov. Now this is going to be a really, really surprising one, but Stoyan Ivanov was obviously a staple last season, a young player who I thought was going to develop with us. 19 appearances in the league, 3 assists, and yeah, not a bad average rating. I thought he was very, very good for us last year. He decided to hand in a transfer request. He wasn't happy with the amount of football he was getting. I said maybe we could try and get you a loan deal. He wasn't interested. He requested to be transferred. So that's what happened. And we only managed to get 47k for him. When you look at this, he's worth far more. But it was the most any club was willing to pay. So I just had to cash in. I didn't want unhappy players at the football club. So we have let Stoyan go. And I'm gutted about it. And then we've made loads of money off the back of Federico Fonseca. Now, you all know a couple of seasons ago we bought him in on a free transfer. Didn't cost us any money at all. He's been currently going here, there and everywhere on loan, trying to get him to develop. Not really got to the level I would have liked. I was looking at him thinking, is he good enough to play for the first team this year? Probably not compared to what we've already got. And then Ludogorets and CSKA came in with an astronomical bid of 210k. And I thought, that's just too good to ignore for a player who I don't really think's ever going to be a first team player. So I decided to accept it, and it's helped us massively because it gave us a bit of a transfer budget and it has helped balance the books massively. Sometimes you just have to do this. Now, I know you're looking at the scout summary, they're saying he could be a good player, but is he really ever going to be a first team player for us when you look at the players we've got? I just don't think he is. So I think we've cashed in at the right time, 20 years of age as well, and then it's helped us along the way, basically. We've been able to bring in Brandon Houndstrup on loan, an English left back from Hearts. We needed a left back because Ivanov has left the football club. His contract came to an end. He was 34 years of age, so we let him leave on a free. So we didn't need a left back, so we brought in Houndstrup. I think he's going to be a really good player for us. If you're looking at him across the board, I actually think his attributes are very, very good. He's here for the season, and we'll just see what happens. If he becomes available for relatively cheap, maybe we'll look at bringing him in full time, but we'll see what sort of season he has first. And then the only other player I've been able to get done is Ivalo Markov, and he's going to be a backup centre-back. A lot of this is because Kolev left the football club. For whatever reason, Kolev isn't appearing on that list of players that have left, but Kolev has left. So I needed a centre-back, and Ivalo Markov, he ticked all the boxes. What I like about Markov is he can actually play centre-back, and he can fill in at left-back if we need him to. So I like the fact that, he's a bit more of a utilitarian as far as players go. I genuinely think he would be good enough to play centre midfield as well. I do. I look at those attributes and I think you could probably be trained to play probably sort of as a ball-winning midfielder. I do think he's good enough. So, yeah, maybe we'll do that so then we've got someone that can play a number of roles for us. Because at 26, I still think he could probably learn new roles. And, yeah, he didn't cost us much money at all. As you can see, 25k, and that's appearance-based, whether or not he reaches that. So if I go back, yeah, you'll see Rossan Kolev. He left the football club. He was months away from that contract ending, so I decided to cash in and we got a little bit of money, but he was all right for us, but he just didn't fit the system. He was too busy clearing the ball away and not using it wisely. And Dimitrov was another youngster who went out on loan, but for whatever reason it registered here rather than on this year's transfers. Just to confirm, that released player Ivan Ivanov, we let him go. He had a good season for us last year, but he was slowly sort of degrading as a player, and I felt like we needed to move him on. So as a result, this is what the squad looks like. We've bought Flistov back, and we bought Petrov back as well. I thought they were musts. They were staples that had to be bought back. They were both very good for us last season. So we brought both of them back in on loan, which I think is really good for us. I'm trying to get another striker over the line, and I think we do need another centre midfielder, and then I think we'll be pretty set for the new season, and we'll be set in a place where our finances look very, very healthy. We have a bit of a transfer budget, and it's nice to see that our wage budget has gone up a bit as well. It's gone up £3,000, so it's actually gone up quite a bit for us this season, and it's helped me bring in some slightly better players, and it's helped me tie down a lot of the good players that we've got as well. I believe that Fomba, I believe Dimitrov, Yankov, Zhivkov, Topes, they all signed new deals in the summer. So yeah, it's helped me tie down all of the real good prospects that this football club has and tried to keep the band together as well after the unbelievable season that we had last year. If I just go to this is the guy I'm trying to bring in on loan. As you can see, he's probably not that great across the board, 29 years of age, but he will offer us something a bit different as predominantly a target man, but he can also play advanced forward. End of the day, he's coming in as a backup to Zhivkov. Zhivkov was on fire last season, and as you're going to see shortly, he's on fire already this season as well. There's lots of players, as you can see. We're trying to get stuff done. I tried to get this guy in on loan, but they're not interested. But he looks pretty good, doesn't he? I think he would be a tasty little centre midfielder for us, but it's hard. It's very, very difficult where this football club is concerned. Now, I did say I had stuff I wanted to talk to you about. Summer was interesting, not only where transfers were concerned, but where clubs were concerned. I'm going to go through the fixtures first, and then I'll show you the league table, and then I'll tell you a bit more. Now, as I've already said, I played the first 3 league games of the season. Pre-season went pretty well. It went as expected, to be fair. a few wins, one defeat, which was a bit of a shock. But then we've won our opening 3 league games. 2-1 against newly promoted Botev. This was a bit closer than I would have liked, but Zhivkov with a brace in the game. Then we played Ludogorets and we got 1 up on them again. We were 2-0 up in 13 minutes. They come back. They dominated the second half. Does have to be said. They do look back to their best, but they are still beatable. As you can see, Bonev and Zhivkov with the goals. CSK 1948 were actually in pretty good form coming into this game. We managed to beat them though. We were 2-0 up. They pulled one back and then we grabbed another. But yeah, Bonev, Topes and Zhivkov with the goals in the game. We've had a few injuries at the beginning of the season that have really, really hurt us. So it's been a bit of a tough time trying to put the team together and get the strongest team out. Today, we're probably going to play the Cherno game. I only do one game at the beginning of a season. You all know my reasons for it. It's basically because we have to cover so much other stuff. But yeah, we're going to play Cherno in today's game. And that'll be coming up shortly. But yes, let's take a look at the league table, shall we? We've started the league 100%. So it puts us second already. We've started well. Like, I didn't expect us to start as well as we have. Now, something really shocking happened in the summer. Not so shocking, but Ludogorets sacked their manager. They gave me the opportunity to interview for the job. Now, I went for it, and I was going to take that job on because at the end of the day, if you could have seen the transfer budget and the wage budget, you've just seen ours. Transfer budget, 120k, I believe it was, and our wage budget is just a shade under 9,000 a week. Ludogorets' transfer budget was 15 million. Their wage budget was 260,000. It was astronomical. So I went for the job. They decided not to offer me the role. They went elsewhere. I think it's a manager that's been there before has come in and is going to do it again. I was a bit gutted, but the other bit of me was like, do you know what? It's Litex. I'm loving it. It's one of those things. If I got it, great. If not, we'll just carry on what we're doing. Then Barrow offered me the job, the chance to go for an interview. I rejected it. I looked at it and there was a bit of a difference. It was like, I think it was at 80k's worth of wage budget. Don't know what the transfer budget was because I didn't attend the interview. But it was a bit better than us. But I just thought, no, I think we're on a similar level. We beat them last season. We were very close to them at the end of the year. And then the big shock, Levski Sofia, the team that won the whole thing, their manager retired in the summer. They offered me the chance, so I went. But, again, as good as they are, and as good as they were last season, their transfer budget was 5 million, and they want them to be doing well in the Champions League. And I was a bit like, I'm not sure. We did the interview, didn't get the job. It went elsewhere anyway. Clearly, my interview technique requires some work. But we were offered some big jobs, and that is basically that's the point I'm trying to get at. We're kind of at a stage where, although we've not won much, we're overachieving to a level with Litex that big clubs are now looking at us. And, I think the thing I want to put out there is, if a big club comes in, do you guys think I should take it? Or would you rather I stayed at Litex and carried on the good work that we've been doing? I think it'd be really interesting. I definitely had my head turned. I'm going to be honest with you, with those 2 games. But yeah, we're going well already at the start of this season. If we look at the season preview, they expect us to finish 9th, the media, this season, which I do find a bit surprising considering how well we did last year. But yeah, like 9th, I think, is fair, but I would like to think that we're going to be a bit further up the league, especially when you look at the start that we've made. No one's in that dream team again. Is there any real surprise about that? It's dominated by Ludogorets players, even though Ludogorets have had a slow start. They're expected to win the league this year. Levski second, CSK Sofia third, Botev fourth, Barrow fifth. So yeah, the usual suspects are up there. Can we do what we did last season once again? But yeah, that's everything I do believe. But, excuse me, I'm still going to look to improve this team because that is the big thing. I need to carry on bringing the players through. And I need to continue building up the youngsters, and I need to continue just making this team great. Malinov is almost at a point where he's going to be starting in front of Fomba soon because he's getting that good, and he's 16 years old. 16 years of age, so it's frightening to see how far we could take him. And Topes is now our starting right winger because he is just looking like a very good player. So yeah, the team is coming on very, very nicely. And I'm very happy about it, ladies and gents. So, yeah, I guess we just get in to the first game now. Well, the only game, I should say, of today's episode. And so this is the team we're going to go with for the Cherno Morvana game. It's a very familiar looking team, I guess you could say. There is going to be one debut, two debuts in this game. Two of the new players that we've brought in, well, the only two new players that we brought in this season are going to make their debuts, but the rest of it does look very familiar to last season, ladies and gentlemen. We had a few injuries very early on. We lost Petkov for a number of weeks in pre-season. We lost Mesadiev. We've just lost Bonev for a long period of time, and Fristov as well. We've had injuries at the beginning of the season, and I do feel like I want to bring in a few more loans before this transfer window's out, just so it doesn't hurt us like it did at stages last season and the season before. Last season was very good where injuries were concerned. We managed to keep the team pretty fit, but one bad injury, this team goes backwards. So we need to get that strength in depth. But anyway, Petrov's going to play in goal. Atanasov and Hanstrup at fullback. Markov is going to make his debut next to Iradi. We're going to go Dimitrov, Yankov in the midfield. We're going to go Petkov, Topes, Bekir, Zhivkov as that front four. They were electric last year. Let's hope they're electric today. And so here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's been an electric start to the season, as I've already shown you 3 wins from those first 3 games. And it would be nice to think that we could continue that against this Cherno team, who are yet to win this season. It's early days, but I think really you always want to build on each season. And last year was pretty incredible. A 4th place finish is nothing to be disappointed with, but really this year I would like to see us try to go after those European places if at all possible. If we don't, we don't. All right, at the end of the day, we're into our last year of our deal at Litex, so it would be nice to see us try to push forward and do something special this year, especially if it is going to be my last season with them. We are building up a nice bit of a reputation now, though, that the big clubs are starting to look our way. So if we do end up losing our job, or we do end up out of a job, then we've got that to fall back on. I'm just going to demand a bit more. It's been a very slow start for us in the game. Petkov struggling to get into it. But yeah, we've been very good this season. It's surprising to see us make such a slow start. Jesus, very, very slow start. Just fire the boys up a bit. See if that works. Nothing's working just yet. Maybe I should have just stuck with the same team that I put out in the last game, and we might have been going places. It's been a struggle. Hasn't it? This first half, Petkov is playing very badly indeed. It could be that they're just playing a defensive setup and we're struggling to break them down. Could be a number of things, at the end of the day. That's to us. That's lovely. Bekir into Zhivkov, who just doesn't miss at the moment. He's flying. He's got 4 goals inside those first 3 games. That makes it 5. 5 for the season already for Zhivkov. He signed a new deal in the summer. He's here for another few years. You know what? He's one of those players, you look at him from an attribute point of view, and he doesn't look that good, but he's unreal. He fits this system. He scores goals, and that's all you need. At the end of the day, a striker that puts it in the back of the net is all you need, ladies and gents, and he definitely does that for us. Petkov, I'm a little worried about. Might have to make a change there, but we'll let this free kick take place. It's a lovely free kick in. It's going to come out to Houndstrup. That's a lovely first-time ball into Topes. Where's he going to go with this? Doesn't go anywhere. And that nearly put us in trouble. He was a little clueless out on the left-hand side, wasn't he? He really is an out-and-out right winger for me now, in my opinion. That's a lovely ball. Oh, Zhivkov decides to give up on it. Is anything even going to come from this highlight? Goalkeeper, he's just given that back into Atanasov, who was brilliant last season. I think he signed a new deal in the summer. That's a beautiful ball! And Plamen Petkov, who struggled in the game, gets on the score sheet, and that will hopefully settle him down. He is our starting left winger this year. No more of this stupid squad rotation between him and Bonev. He's better than Bonev now, but it's just good to have a body like Bonev in the team, who is a good player, but 2-0, really turning it on, aren't we, in the second half. 70th minute is on the horizon, so I might make my first change. Soaps hasn't had a good game. He's on a yellow card. So we'll put Racine out there. We'll bring Petrov into the midfield. We'll go to an advanced playmaker, which I'm going to be honest, it doesn't really work because with the spacing, but we'll put him there anyway. It might help. And that's the only change we will make for now. Petkov I got to keep an eye on because he's just come back from a lengthy injury. So we might have to take him off. Might just have to sacrifice the wingers actually. And I might do it for the last 10 minutes or so. Let's do that. Let's sacrifice some wing play. We'll bring Mitov on. Young player, still trying to get him some game time. So, yeah, we'll bring him and we'll bring Racine as well and put Metadiev on. So we'll go Zhivkov, Metadiev. I believe he's best as a target man on support. We'll put Yankov in there. Mitov there. I think he's best as a box-to-box. And we will... Do you know what? I think we can probably afford to leave all that as it is. But yeah, we'll just change that. Just change that formation up ever slightly for the last 10 minutes. We'll make those 2 changes. Save those players' legs. Because you know what? We've played well. We're 2-0 to the good. We turned it on in the second half. And it's going to be, hopefully, a good victory should we be able to see it out. But Cherno on the ball now. We've not kept a clean sheet this season, so it would be nice if we could do that. But the ball in there, and he rolls it past the keeper. And we are into that territory, aren't we? Oh, dearie, dearie me. Why we do this to ourselves at the end of every game where we give a team a chance is very, very annoying. But, yeah, I think this is going to be it. Oh, no. 30 seconds to go and we're going to have a highlight. Oh, they've won the ball as well. They've won the ball as well. They've won the ball as well. Just tackle him. Thank God for that. I'm so glad he took a shot from far out because that throw-in was not good. And there you go. 90 minutes are up. We get the 3 points, but... we need some clean sheets. Okay, my friend. So basically, we're just going to do what we always do. You know, it's season 4. We'll continue to move this along the way we always do. And yeah, we'll bring it back next time for a couple of games, I guess. Next episode, I think, is episode 19. So we're not far off another 3-game special. I did that for the last episode, the championship episode, because I just felt it was the best way to give you it. But we need that clean sheet, don't we? These games are looking far closer than they actually are on paper. But I think I'm going to play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm going to play the next 6 games. We'll come back for Arda and Lokomotiv Sofia. I believe both those teams have just been promoted, so that will be interesting to play those games. And yeah, we'll really see where we are because Botev won't be easy. Levski, Barrow, they're all going to be very difficult games. So yeah, we'll really be able to see where this team's at by the time we come back next episode. As far as the league table is concerned, this is how it looks, ladies and gentlemen. Zhivkov, top goal scorer, Dimitrov and Bekir Racine in there with the assists. That's great to see, but we are top. 4 played, 4-1, 12 points on the board. The only team that is 100% so far. And so there you are, my friends. We're done and dusted for another episode of Project Black Sea. And you know what? Maybe it was good that we didn't get offered we didn't get offered the jobs properly. Because look at what we're doing with Litex. We sit top of the table. It's early doors though. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. If you've enjoyed today's episode, my friends, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can see plenty more of this. Drop a like on the video to show your appreciation as well. You'll check that description box for things like Discord and socials. That's a good way to stay up to date with myself and the wider community, my friends. But until next time, I am Offski. You stay safe, stay humble. Saluting you all, and I'll see you all next time.